You're welcome back to Secure the Continent and News Central Television, and I still have with me Adekoya Onyekachi, security expert, who's joining from Birmingham in England, and Chimezie, Iwuagwu, fellow national spokesman of the Institute of Safety Professionals of Nigeria. Also, Alex Okonkwo, security analyst, who joins us from Lagos, Nigeria. Now, we've witnessed more than 100 days of the Tinubu presidency, and he did inherit, upon his assumption of the presidency of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, quite a number of security challenges in different parts of the country. I would like to pose this question to Timothy. Could you provide an analysis of the specific security challenges across the length and breadth of Nigeria that President Tinubu inherited upon assuming office, and how have these challenges evolved during his first 100 days in office?
Yes, I know that Nigerians lived in fear in the past 8 years under President Muhammadu Buhari's administration. A lot of people have argued in favor and against the gains made by that administration. But the truth that we live with today is that President Tinubu, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, inherited a very serious security problems from his predecessor. But how he is going to solve that problem, or what he has done so far in 100 days or 90 days or so, is not going to be as important as how the people actually feel it. We're not looking at statistical data now. We're looking at the real things, the real situation in the streets and in the communities. Nigeria has focused mainly on its urban environment and abandoned the hinterland to manage itself at the mercy of insecurity. If you look at it, we have so much problems. Some of the problems, people are even shy of talking about these problems. For example, how do you consider a situation where a police officer is also enjoying a good fraternization with hoodlums, so that when a law-abiding citizen reports a matter to the police, and the police will not take any action, they can even just tell you, come back tomorrow, or even ask you, where is the criminal? Go and show us. So we just have a very dirty case in our hands now. A boy in his prime, just 27, because of the situation in the country, he has been managing his life. He has parents that are also managing themselves. They have problems of surviving at their domestic level, and then they are facing a socioeconomic upheaval that is enveloping the country. Things are not getting better. When we talk of security, security is not about carrying guns and moving inside armored vehicles and roaming down the streets of the cities and distributing fear, so that the people are acquiring fear and living in fear and cannot do anything because their immune system has been depleted because of the fear that is has already taken over the atmosphere. Now, what we are looking at is security has to do with all the actions and measures you put in place to protect things of value. And if things of value are not protected, you lose them.
Okay. Thank you very much, Timothy. Because of want of time, I would like to bring Alex back into the conversation now. Alex, President of Nigeria, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, wears two hats. He's the President and CNC of Nigeria, is also the Chairman of ECOWAS, the West African Sub-Regional Group. How can regional leadership effectively respond to political instability and coups in West Africa? And what specific actions or initiatives should the president prioritize? There were talks of, a standby force ready to invade Niger Republic and bring them back to democratic governance. Is that threat still there? And do you advise for military intervention, looking at the nature of the West African sub-region?
Yes, you remember we talked about this, Gbenga, when it happened right then. Yes, it was an overexcitement of the president when he made that speech that we're going to intervene. I don't think he really meant that, and I think he captured the essence in the days that followed. And like you and I know, the Niger junta is still there as we speak. Now, military leadership is generally transitional. So it can be 2-3 years. The Malian junta is still there. Burkina Faso junta is still there. And so they're not going anywhere anytime soon. That's on that side. Now, your real question is, what do we do around ourselves to protect ourselves? And various governments have done quite a lot in the past. We cannot now, I would even say as we speak, I don't think the BAT administration has done anything yet in terms of security. I think what he's looking at, being somebody that has a civilian background, and it's not as if we've had many presidents like that, he's looking at all the other economic and social issues that relate or that are consequential to insecurity. And this is a good thing. I would say it's a good thing if truly that's what he's doing. Because for many years, we've always treated insecurity as a purely military thing. So you go in there, you attack, and you come out. It has not stopped kidnapping. It has not stopped raidings. It has not stopped, what you call it, farmer and herdsmen crisis. It has not stopped the problems we have in our borders. We should look at other aspects of how to fight insecurity. So hopefully, having a purely political and civilian president, which is not a former general, he would also look at this aspect. Because we said it here in your program a few months back, that you can give the Buhari administration a bad mark for many things, but you cannot give him a bad mark for having equipped the military better than we used to have. Now you have to give him that pass mark. What he met and what he left in terms of military equipment is much better. We're talking of the Air Force, we're talking of the Navy, we're talking of the Army. Probably not the police. I would say not a great job with the police. So what I expect the President Tinubu's administration to do is to do more of those things that would do preventive, that is, that would avoid the insecurity. It's not only about tackling these people when they are already terrorists. Let us avoid them from getting to that stage where youths are being manipulated to fight for things that are not reasonable and become unpatriotic. So I expect the Tinubu administration going forward to take care of all the other things that lead us to the insecurity itself. Because fighting the insecurity is always, like I always say, is the last act. We should be doing the preventive side, and these things are more social and economic, and it concerns our borders. Because if we can have peace in Niger, the crisis they would eventually bring will not cross over to our border. Remember, we have 1,500 kilometers of border with Niger Republic alone, so it's not something you can do overnight. And so I'm looking forward to the more economic and social actions that he will take that would prevent insecurity.
Thank you very much, Alex. Now, Adekoya, as we begin to wrap up, Boko Haram and ISWAP continue to pose a significant threat to Nigeria's security, even though Boko Haram has been degraded to a level where they don't hold territory, as we used to see in the past. What are the key challenges in combating these terrorist groups? What's the latest? What's the situation with regards to ISWAP and Boko Haram as we speak at this moment? And what comprehensive strategies should be implemented to weaken their influence or completely, decimate these groups?
Yeah, thank you. I think that when you are dealing with an insurgency like this, particularly with an entrenched insurgency, it's only a matter of time before the fundamental issues that gave rise to the agitation either lapse by time or the conditions that necessitated them resolved eventually. Now, no, Boko Haram and ISWAP are no longer a significant threat to us, majorly because the military has done a very good job on them. And importantly, there was infighting between Boko Haram and ISWAP, which led to the capitulation of Boko Haram with the killing of Shekarau, and then the subsequent surrender of over 70,000 Boko Haram fighters to the Nigerian army. So that has helped contain them to the Lake Chad basin. So what the military continues to do and should continue to do is to continue to contain them, until we can eventually mop them up fully. The governor and his party is doing a lot, trying to resettle, reintegrate the people into those places so that you deny Boko Haram the space to operate. So I think those measures should continue. Yeah, I think you want to say something.
Yeah, I was just going to say thank you to you because we've run out of time in the program today. Big thank you to Adekoya Onyekachi, security expert, Timothy Chimezie, Iwuagwu, fellow and national spokesman, Institute of Safety Professionals of Nigeria, and also dear friend Alex Okonkwo in Lagos. Thank you all for your insights and contribution to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Have a nice weekend.
You too. Now, to effectively deal with and prevent future incidents and attacks on security personnel in Nigeria, the government must adopt a multi-faceted approach. This includes enhancing intelligence gathering capabilities and information sharing among security agencies, investing and training and equipping security forces to respond swiftly and effectively to threats, improving community engagement and building trust between local populations and security personnel, addressing root causes of insecurity such as unemployment and economic disparities, and implementing comprehensive de-radicalization and counter-terrorism programs. Additionally, strengthening border security and international cooperation to curb the influx of illicit arms and the movement of criminal elements is crucial. Thank you very much for being a part of today's program. Remember to stay safe and alert at all times. I am Gbenga Aborowa. Goodbye.